Okay, we're now going to look at this idea of coaching and coaching Kasha to try to engage the spirit of motivational interviewing. It's a level that's best understood by what motivational interviewing is not, and so they kind of the anti-spirit of motivational interviewing, but then we'll practice what it is. So we're going to talk about this idea, first of all, of not getting possessive. So Kasha, you're going to be my counselor, and I'm in high school, obviously, about a junior, and I'm thinking about dropping out so that I can dedicate my life to surfing, on a casual surfing and video game surfing, so both.
Okay.
All right, so we're already into the middle of this, and I'm like, yeah, I think just dropping out of school makes a lot of sense to me. Like, have you seen the waves out there? Like, it is amazing. It's sick. Plus, video game development.
Whoa, Brad, you're talking about dropping out of high school just altogether? I mean, you think that's a good idea?
Maybe, because also I could maybe become a rock star, and that would be cool.
Okay,
surf, video game, rock star stuff. That would be nice.
I just don't think this is realistic at all. Have you thought this through? I mean...
All right, so time out. So what are you doing right there?
I'm trying to make you feel really bad about it.
Good.
Oh.
So that's not the MI way. So let's try this. So what I'd like for you to do is try a skill where you're just going to reflect what I stated. So I feel heard. So first a reflection. Empathy that school sometimes it doesn't feel great or it's not always easy. So just like what were when you were a teenager, if you've met some teenagers, sometimes going to school is not always the easiest. But then, so that you just a reflection, some empathy, and then I want you to try to say this really is your choice, and then maybe say, and can we look at an alternative perspective? And that will be it for now.
Okay.
How does that sound? So you got the 4 steps?
I'll give it a go.
All right. So you just a reflection, some empathy, and then a permission question to kind of look at an alternative way to go. And then also notice that, hey, it's your choice. So,
okay.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Hey, Kasha, I think it's time for me to leave school and dedicate myself to my dream of surfing, both on the internet and video gaming, and also surfing on the beach.
Brad, what I'm hearing you saying is that you don't like school anymore and you want to drop out altogether?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that because I could really dedicate myself to what I love and my passion.
I understand what you're saying. Possibly, maybe school is just a little difficult or uncomfortable for you right now.
It is, really it is, yeah, especially with all those kids that are mean.
Yeah. High school can be really tough.
Yeah, it is.
I totally get you. I mean, perhaps we could look at some alternatives maybe for you instead of dropping out of school. Would that be okay?
All right, nice. So let's freeze right there. So what do you think you did well, Kasha?
Hopefully I was polite and empathetic, and then I tried to listen and show you I was listening.
Right. Good. And can I throw off and introduce another thing I think you did well? So I think you gently introduced this idea of like, you didn't just follow me like, oh, really, you don't like school, it's terrible, and no kidding. You also kind of opened up a pathway to talk about some alternative ideas or alternative kind of options. So it was good reflecting, good empathy, and then jumping in saying, hey, can we explore some alternative ideas? And I feel ready to hear those. If you would have led with that, like, hey, let me provide an alternative idea without doing the reflecting and empathy first, I think I might have been more resistant. So well done.
Okay, good.
All right. Can we share one more idea in coaching?
Okay.
So one idea in coaching is this idea of, excuse me. So motivational interviewing talks about this, if you release 3 different dimensions, you've already seen this, but there's this idea of, just following, and that's, not good. So we don't want to just kind of follow clients wherever. Let's do this with the high school student. So guiding is kind of what you already did there, where you're just going to kind of give some structure to what the clients, might go through, and there's being too directive. So that's terrible. All right, being too directive. Jeez. Sorry, people. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want us to practice this. Mm-hmm. So I want you to first just get into this following zone, and then maybe I'll give you some signal. I want you to go to directing, and then I want you to try to land in guiding.
Okay.
Does that sound all right?
Sure.
Okay, we'll just practice this out and see what the skill looks like. All right. So I'm thinking of dropping out of high school. I don't think it's my thing.
Yeah.
I really want to be a rock star.
Absolutely. I mean, YouTube's hot right now for young
It is.
people. I
Right.
mean, rock stars are so fun,
Yes.
right? Like, what a party.
Yeah, you get everything you want.
Why not do it while you're young?
This is the time.
I think so. I mean, I like where your head's at.
Have you ever
You're
heard
thinking
my,
big?
Have you ever heard my tapes or my...
I would love to hear them.
All right. So, okay, cut. No, following, terrible. That's just going right along with me, and I'm probably not going to be a rock star. So, go to directing now. I want to be a rock star. I think I could really make it out there.
Okay, so let's think this through. You're going to be a rock star and drop out of school. I don't think that this is a good idea at all. I mean, have you thought it through at all, Brad?
I think you get private tutors. Like some of those kind of boy bands, they have private tutors, so I'd be fine.
No. Let me stop you right there, Brad. You can't do a private tutor while you're on the road.
You're shaking your hand at me a lot. I'm not feeling comfortable here. All right. So, good job. So that's, poor job. Well, really poor MI, spirit of MI skills. So you following around, no good. Being overly directed, no good. So let's try a guiding approach now. And so what that might be is, again, empathy, kind of reflecting what's stated, and then trying to create space to kind of help maybe me figure out what's most important in my life. So getting back to that what land.
Okay.
Oh, I want to be a rock star. I think that's the way to go.
All right. So sounds like you're not liking school, and so you're searching for alternatives to school. Is that right?
Yeah, where did you learn these deep empathy skills?
Oh, I'm trying.
Was that in your engineering degree or your MBA degree? I'm curious.
Working through it all.
Okay.
So it sounds like maybe we could look at some alternatives, if you're open to it, to making you feel more comfortable in high school. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, that might work. A lot of people are telling me that I probably ought to not drop out quite yet. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but at least kind of maybe thinking about some alternatives would be good.
Maybe we can put our heads together and come up with some ways that you can feel comfortable at school now.
Excellent. So what skills are you trying out there?
Trying to use a little we language,
Good.
A little partnering,
Yep.
and then also giving you the ownership of taking on the task.
Excellent. So emphasizing my ownership or my personal choice, we language, also a lot of great permission questions. And in those permission questions, we're doing a little bit of guiding, right? Like that is the way to guide, because we're setting the agenda to say, let's look at alternatives. And you did that after reflections and empathy. Really well done.
Thank you.
All right. So those are efforts at coaching and good practice in spirit of motivational interviewing. Thank you. Feel good about it?
Yeah, great.
All right, we'll call it good.
All right.